Hello, everyone. Welcome to our information seminar. My name is Surashri, a current student in the Master of Design program. The seminar will have two parts. The first part is the main session to introduce our Master of Design scheme and the specialisms under the scheme. Part two is concurrent specialism-based breakout sessions. We hope by the end of the seminar, you will be better informed about our distinct educational offerings and identify the right masters to apply for. Without further ado, may we invite Professor Stephen Wang, Master of Design Scheme Leader, to give an overview of the MDes program.
So Master of Design has been in School of Design for a long time, and it has been reformed probably three years ago. And now we have four new specialisms, including innovative business design, we call IBD, intelligent system design, ISD, smart service design, SSD, and the transitional environments design. So these four specialisms emphasize on different aspects. So it's leading by different scheme leaders. We have a Professor Lee has been has provided the right vision and the direction for the reform. And we have a Professor Sylvia Liu, who is Assistant Dean and leading the IBD. We have Professor Cheryl Park and leading the SSD, and Professor Lo Hong and leading the TED. And myself, Stephen Wang, I'm leading the ISD program here. So just a very brief introduction of myself. So this is around within this 15 years. I was a professor in Tokyo Zoka University. I have created the interaction design stream there. And after that, I moved to Monash University in Melbourne, Australia. And I created interaction design, Master of Interaction Design there, and also what we call a Tangible Interaction Design Lab, ITID Lab at Monash. In 2017, I moved to the RCA. I was leading the Innovative Design Engineering, IDE, and Global Innovation Design, GID, two specialisms co-run with the Imperial College London double degree program before I came to School of Design here. So in 2020, January, I started my job at School of Design. One of the main tasks the dean gave me was to reform this program. Of course, I have to work. I need to work. I was honored to work with the professors here as a team to finish this reform. So all of this brand, they like to write since something, right? And like Starbucks since 1970 something. So in our program, we since 1964, right? So our School of Design got a long-term history. It's not, just jump out into the field, and we got a long years of repetition. And in 1970s, we renamed as the Department of Design. And in 1980s, we renamed it as a Square School of Design. And that's the period become to be a famous school, design school in the region. That's why the Queen was here to visit us. And in the 90s, we designated as a School of Design, and we started a Master of MA program, Master program there. And in 2020s, we start to build up our reputation as one of the best design school in the world. And in 2010, we are very lucky to have this new building. Was founded by a jockey club and got a huge donation from them. Then in 2013, we moved to this new building. That's around a similar time we started the QS ranking. So from the beginning of QS ranking, School of Design and the PolyU has ranked very high. And this year, I think it's number 19 in the world ranking. In 2020s, and we, as I mentioned, we have reformed our program, and we have a fellowships scheme for our program. So that's why if you are local, I believe most of you are local candidates, you are eligible to apply for the fellowship, which will support you a bigger amount for your tuition. Okay. So out of pocket won't be much if you can get a fellowship. So currently, school, we have academic teaching staff around 50, 51, and the supporting staff around 85. You can see if you come in, all the academic program is well supported by admin and the research staff. And all of these students put together, sorry, it's around 1,000, and undergraduate 700 something. Master students, we have a 2 master program, Master of Science and also MDes. We put together, it's around 200. And the PhD is growing every year, and 60 this year. I think next year will become 70 something. Okay. So that's the overall scale of the school. Just want to give you a basic image. And every year when the new student come in, we will give them a good orientation. So this is the orientation session we have in this year, in August, right? This year, yeah. So our students contribute into different fields, and we have alumni. What do we try to, I think following the spirit of the School of Design, we don't really expect our students all come from the field of design. Also, don't only merely contribute to the field of design. So our alumni, like Rico, is entrepreneurs, and he created what's called Vision Plus. Beyond Vision. It's quite famous in the Bay Area, and quite big scale entrepreneur. And also Mary Yu. Have you heard about Mary Yu? Yeah, if you buy the luxury, well-designed qipao, the traditional Chinese clothing, you will know Mary Yu. Her brand is very famous for qipao. Her work is in the National Museum. So it's you can see the students come in from a certain field, and our master program contribute as an amplifier or transformer and help you to transform to the designer type of designer you want to be. So it doesn't have to be the same path, doesn't have to be exactly the same pattern of designers to be. So we imagine our staff can contribute students when they graduate, they can become totally different type of designers. Maybe entrepreneurs, or maybe design strategists, or maybe brand designers, etc. So why we are doing this? The philosophy behind the scene is we have a vision for T shape, or we call pie shape. T is a horizontal and vertical. Pi is a horizontal and 2 vertical. So it's up to you. So some students came into our program from undergraduate, maybe engineering, or maybe advertisement, or maybe even philosophy or whatever. They come in, but they have the vision to think, I want to contribute in the innovative industry to create something new. I want to create something practical. That's why they come to design. So that's why we try to provide the horizontal bar in your knowledge, which including these core components. So first is the broad range of knowledge. So we will provide you with methods, techniques, and skills to fill up the gap in your knowledge structure, which is something you don't have. Okay, so if you come from engineering, you may not have the very strong aesthetic training, or very methodological approach for creating things, right? So in that sense, we're going to fill in that. On the contrary, if you're from design field, you may need to learn a bit of technical skills and technical components, and what is AI algorithm and data visualization, etc. Okay, and of course, you need to have a strong spirit for interdisciplinarity, which is beyond the field of design, beyond your own field. So you can imagine I always think, it's a interdisciplinary. It's like you create vegetable fried with the meats, two different things. You need to cook it together. So it's not only meat with vegetable put together. You have to have a method to cook it, to put some special ingredients to make it tasty and it's beautiful. So this interdisciplinarity is need a special approach. Again, in our Master of Design, we cannot help you to go through the whole journey to tell you what is the answer for your career. We open the door. You need to get into the door and find your own path for interdisciplinarity to become the unique type of designer you want to be. Okay. Analytical critical thinking, this is very important. And when you see the problems in the society, when you see the business opportunity, when you see RoboCab will come into the street in 3 days, what do you think about it? You think it's a good thing or bad thing? Will take over some driver's job or maybe new opportunities? Or maybe some new design, is maybe you say, oh, I want to create a new company to design the interior, the service inside the car, or the last mile for delivery to work with the RoboCab. I don't know, but you need to have analytical or critical thinking to enable you to analyze what's going on. Okay. And professional application development capacity. So this is very important. Even you have a very good idea, you need to present it in a professional way. Whatever is an image, a video, a design concept, because we work with the companies and with the industries, they don't want to see the typical student type of design work. They want to see professional work. Okay. So we're going to help you, but it's a pressure on your side to level up your skills to develop something in a professional level. Okay. And systematic thinking, which is quite important, as I mentioned before, we analyze things in a system, different components, how things work together, not only on the surface, okay? For example, interface is on the surface. And for example, how RoboCab can manage the information, how RoboCab can pick up the customer, etc. So that is the systematic analysis you need to do in the program. Rigorous and independent thinking is very important. And you're going to find, especially in the transitional environments design, we have a couple of very good elective subjects and can help you to build up rigorous independent thinking. Okay, so basically our programs, you can think is a horizontal bar in the T or pie shape to enable you become this kind of a talent. And when we talk to the curriculum, you're gonna see we have a core specialism curriculum, but we also have a pool of elective subjects, and you can choose based on your interest. So why this is very important? So just one example. So for example, the student find out the challenge is the privacy. Okay, we all use a mobile phone, and how we can manage our privacy issues like your phone number, your name, your gender, your age, to share with different apps. How can you control that? Because normally when you try to use the app, you just click yes. Then otherwise you can't use the app. But it's not a very ideal way. So this student find out the problem and provide this using tangible interface, like building blocks to control. Let's say this is my age, this is my gender, this is my address. By arranging different apps in the phone, you can think that app I trust more. So I give more privacy. Okay, this app gonna less, so I give less blocks. So you can use a tangible way to arrange your privacy information in different apps. And also, when you use a mobile phone to look at that, you got the augmented reality visualization of all of this data. So when you think, if you want to design this kind of a solution, what do you need to do? So at the beginning, of course, you need to understand the user. right? Emphasize the user, the market, the culture, the context. That's something you need to analyze. Then you also need to analyze the technology. For example, augmented reality. If you don't know the feature of the technology, how can you use that technology into this concept? You can't, right? Then you need to define the behavioral challenges. Why you want to use a tangible interface to solve this problem, why this is a better solution for this. You need to, from the behavioral perspective, to analyze this. Then you create the creative solutions, and is something never seen before, not in the market, something creative. And also you need to have the skills to prototype to make it functional. Okay, you cannot just say, Steven, I imagine something like that. It doesn't work in Master of Design here. You need to show the functional prototype. Okay. Also, on top of that, you need to be able to, so the technology we say normally data, intelligent, IoT, Internet of Things, human computer interaction, etc. And sorry. On top of that, you need to be able to test and evaluate your outcomes, okay? Because more and more, you're gonna understand research components is quite important, especially when you consider in the future, you may want to get into PhD study. How can you use the scientific approach to prove your hypothesis is very important. Okay, so we have the test and evaluation components here. So put all of this together, you will be able to create a useful, usable, flexible, intuitive, plausible solutions, and from based on systematic thinking, not only an interface. Okay, so you can imagine back if you don't provide this kind of a tangible interface, only provide a graphical 2D interface, whatever how beautiful it is not innovative enough. Okay. So that is the level of innovation we are talking about. But in the same time, we also encourage students to create something artistic, think out of the box, maybe too dry in design, but more beautiful, more expressive. Okay, so that is student work called Brink, and Dustin created this one is to transfer the Bitcoin deals. Every time in the internet there's a Bitcoin deal, you're gonna have a particle job done here. So through the time, different size of the pile or particle, you can see the deals in different time. Okay, so using the physical to visualize, to express what is going on in the virtual market. So that is why, it's following this kind of a vision. That's something we want to achieve. We want to enable our students to achieve that. So that's why we think, how can we do that? We think we can consider this from different perspectives. STEAMed perspectives, which is a STEM, STEM? Yeah, STEM plus art and design, STEAMed perspective, a business perspective, service perspective, and humanities perspective. Okay, so we try to tackle on the social issues and find out creative solutions from different angle. So why this is important? For example, we always talk about the robot. We talk about the robot cap just now, right? So actually, this is not really a new concept. During the COVID, at the beginning of the COVID in Italy, this guy is called Tommy. So the hospital tried to use the Tommy to provide a service to the COVID patients because it's very highly contagious, right? So the robot can provide a service safely, but surprisingly, the patients, they don't feel happy with that. They don't trust the robot. They don't feel comfortable with the robot. So they prefer more from the human to provide this kind of service rather than robot. So in this case, we can see the technology is there. Okay, we have AI now. They can provide very good service, but how people perceive that, whether people feel comfortable with that, is a different issue. So that issue is not technical. That is design issue. Okay, so similar now, the challenge we have Elon Musk got a new what is called Optimus, right? Yeah, you have seen the Optimus, pretty tall, pretty muscular. The robots gonna come into your home to help you do your housework, and that kind of robot will come into people's daily life very soon, like the RoboCab. Again, do you think that is opportunity for design? Or threat to designers going to replace the job or something? How do you deal, because this kind of technology going to come into people's life anyway, but how can we deal with that? It's another issue. So in our design, we often consider which part need to be done by automation, which part need to be done by autonomous, which is predicted outcome, unpredicted outcome with AI. Okay, so that kind of a balance need to be dealt with now. Okay, so now we clearly stated our vision. So when we try to our vision, we look at things. We look at from sociology, humanity, STEAM, technology perspective, and service and business, which is even bigger, is economy. Okay, so we look at things through this lens. So that is the approach how we can put these four specialisms together. So, for example, we work with the industries, in the GBA industries every year. So most of the capstone projects are sponsored by the industry. Okay, so for example, this one we work with the GAC, Guangzhou Motors. The topic is they have this kind of a charging post, okay, for electric cars. And then electric cars, they have the navigation system. We'll show you where's the charging post. But the question is, which charging post is best for you to go? Okay, because maybe some charging post is faster, some charging post is slower, some charging post have more people lining up, some is quite quiet. But you also have different situations on your car. Okay, you maybe have your mother-in-law has a kidney problem, need to go toilet very often. You maybe have your baby in the car, need to go to buy some milk powders, etc. So all of these situations in the car is a user's needs, and also the charging post context you need to put together, which require a systematic and an intelligent solution for that. So that's why we work with the GAC to create this kind of a smart charging system for that. Okay, this is just an example. You can see how practical and urgently the industry requiring this kind of intelligent systematic solution from design. So that's why for our Master of Design, we consider designers see the world as a system to be organized and integrated. It's not separate. You cannot say, I only design a projector, only design a smartphone, only design a computer. I only consider it is what it is, right? It's not only consider the connected network, the overall system, that you won't have very innovative solution. So here I want to summarize that our vision is to nurture the proactive leaders and the game changers for the future industry. Okay, we work closely with the industry. We understand what's going on. We satisfy their needs. And also with high level flexibility and variety of restructured in the curriculum. So our scheme now gives a new impetus to the interdisciplinary research and education in the GBA region. We located in Hong Kong. We want to serve the local community, but we have the vision to contribute to the GBA and to the world. As a designer see the world as a system to be organized and integrated, they don't have to choose any specialties for the profession, okay? So, but see areas of study as sources of knowledge of patterns to inform their work towards meeting global challenges. Okay, so means you don't need to limit yourself in the traditional concept defined a design field. You can define yourself as a unique type of designer, which I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation. Okay, so when you absorb different nutritions in different specialisms, try to redefine yourself, become a unique designer. Okay, last but not least, in our MDes scheme, designers of innovation feels at home in arts, okay, not only design, arts, humanities, science, engineering, mathematics. It doesn't mean you have to do all of this. Depends on your background, okay? We are open structure, we are flexible, and depends on how do you define yourself, depends on your background. You can emphasize all of this in the new design area, okay? So that's why overall structure is we call tofu tofu structure. You can consider the whole curriculum is like this, and we have different nutritions. Okay, critical thinking, technical, physical computing, algorithm, and business, etc. So students can come into from different edge of the tofu, like business, engineering, design, and you go in like this, you swim or whatever as you like, and you absorb the nutrition, and you're gonna graduate in different angle as well. Okay, you may be a designer more steamed, more business, or more engineering. Depends on how do you see yourself can contribute into the innovation. Okay, so here is a persona. We have a Patrick, 25 years old, and the local married and at least 10 years experience in technical areas. So depends on your background and depends on your working experience. You can take this program in different way, okay? So full-time is 1 year, but if you're busy, like 10 years, you're still working, but you have the vision, you want to contribute into the different location in the world, in the mainland, etc., to find job in the industry. For example, you want to contribute into the automobile industry, or mobile, or smart service, or internet, or Tencent, etc. You want to redefine yourself, okay? So in that case, you may consider you take a part-time mode, a program, which will be 3 years, still same credits, you can spread it into 3 years long, and depends on your work arrangement, you can adjust that, okay? So, okay, now come to the curriculum. It's 3 terms curriculum. In total, we have 37 credits, okay? So every term we have we go through the term 1. Every term we have a foundation and specialism major. Okay, we also have research analysis for design in term 1 and academic integrity and ethics. That is something is new and we have to do. It's 1 credits. Okay, so that's why it's 37. How do you calculate 37? 36 is basic divided by 3, because basic each units is 3 credits, and plus this 1 is 37. Okay, so when you come to term 2, you can choose another foundation subject, and you can choose another specialism major, maybe not from your own specialism. You can choose from other specialism. and you have a lab study. You have a specialism studio in term 1. Okay, so if you get everything done well in term 3, it's very pure. Okay, you only do one project, is your capstone project. And we have research academic writing to support this. Okay, so we help you, say some students want to publish an academic paper or write a beautiful report, etc. And you can learn this academic writing in this subject and do a beautiful capstone project in this 6 credits subject. So this is the basic curriculum structure. Any questions about this? Anything you don't understand? All clear? Yes, please. No, every specialism have a different contents. Yeah, have a sorry. This is the same. Very good question. The research analysis for design is a common subjects. It's all the specialism students will sit together to learn this. Okay, but lab study or multidisciplinary studio, this is every specialism is different. Then every specialism provides a pool of foundation or a specialism major. So you can choose, depends on your interest. Yeah. So for example, because ISD is built up based on interaction design, right? So if you, from undergraduate interaction design, you don't want to choose another specialism major in interaction design, you go to choose something else. Okay, then you can enrich, you can draw the horizontal bar in your knowledge. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Very good question. Any other questions? Yes, please.
They during the day, they conducted during weeknight, weekend classes. Is there any difference between the part-time and the full-time?
No, at this stage, all of the classes will be run in the normal working time, Monday to Friday, yeah, morning to the evening, yeah. And so part-time just mean you depends on your work arrangement, and you can choose certain subjects in certain day. Doesn't have to be so intense, finish everything in 1 year, spread it in 3 years. Yeah, but so far we don't run a night class or weekend class. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so very good question. If no other questions, we move on. Basically, that's it. So okay, so before we finish, I just want to let you know we have very beautiful facilities in School of Design here, such as the Material Resources Center. Our library is really good, and also we closely work with the IC Industry Center. They have basically anything you need. Okay, so they can 3D print timber, 3D print metal, 3D print biomaterial, whatever you imagine. Okay, so augmented reality, and we also have Apple Vision Pro or anything you can imagine. Okay. So different class times, we have seminars, workshops, studios, tutorials, company visits, and capstone presentations, prototyping demonstrations, and we also have lab studies, and which is a new type of teaching. We bring the students into the real research projects, and we provide students with the facilities, with the research methods, anything you need to learn. Yeah. Okay, that's it. If you have any questions, please follow this to ask us, and you can scan this barcode to get more information of this program. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Wang. What to follow is the specialism introduction. You will hear from founders and leaders of each program sharing their vision and approach. May we invite Dr. Sylvia Liu, specialism leader for IBD, Innovative Business Design, to tell us more about this program. Dr. Sylvia Liu, please.
Good afternoon, I'm Sylvia. I'm be told I have 8 minutes to introduce IVD, but of course I cannot introduce all the program in 8 minutes. So after this section, we have the breakout. So if you have any questions, you'd like to know more, you can go to the IVD studio, which is at the 11th floor. So IVD, as Stephen mentioned, is innovative business design. It's reformed 3 years ago. Before that, if you're familiar with our master program, we have the IDBM, so International Design and Business Management, which is starting from the 2012. So we are the earliest one in the worldwide. We take the students from the multidisciplinary background and let them work together and face into the challenge from the real business side. And then IBD actually continue what we have in the IDBM, but we upgrading, emphasize on the meaningful value creation and also the challenges of the new business environment. So what we are talking actually today's business is not a stable one. So everyone can start up and also all the existing company, they need to face into the challenges and find a new business. So in the IBD, we want to training our students how to identify the opportunities and then reconfigure resources. And then at the end, they have the ability to define the problems instead of only fix on the how to solve the problems. And in this way, our students, we hope when they graduate, actually they can take the leadership in the innovative projects. So I mean, innovative project is not a design project. So the student actually can learn how to work with technical background student or with like even the CEOs, with the business leaders, and then they know how to facing the more kind of the challenge working environment and solve the real problems. So we do emphasize the interdisciplinary of the design, business, and technology. That's the reason we target our students, design, business, technology, and even social science. We emphasize on the teamwork so students can build up their confidence to talking with the classmates. They come from the different world with a different professional languages. And it comes to build up the confidence when they go through the teamwork, which is really challenges. You can ask Candy and Sarasi. They are our currently IBD student, and they are totally different background. And this is our team. Actually, most of them from the School of Design. When we select and build our core teaching members in the IBD, we want our college who have the full-time working experience in the industry side. So as you know, always professor in the university, they are only live in the university academic world, but not in the IBD. Actually, the core members, they all have the working experience or start their own business before when they go back to the university. Same as me, I running my business before, and also Kevin, who is a deputy leader of the program. He started 3 companies by himself in the States. And also Benny, he worked in the Philippine design long time ago before he back to the university. And then even Jaden and Hailiang, they are all working in the different disciplinary background. So this is a way how we build and also make sure our deliverables, the teaching content to the students can fulfill our task to encourage the student to work in the teamwork and face the challenges in the real business world. So here are some examples because you may actually know some subject codes. Let's actually let you know briefly what we are talking in the IBD core subjects. Some actually is a core subject for the IBD students, some also for the open as an elective subject for the other specialism students. Like in the semester 1, we have the 3 subject bonded together, which is an interdisciplinary project, design method advanced, and the design project management. And then all the students were break into the teams and working with a real company. Like last year, we're working with Accenture, and they give our 3 challenges in 3 different industry areas, like tourism, like financial accounting. And this team, actually, we show here, actually, they're working on the GBA transportation. So they put kind of the leading airline in Hong Kong as a one example to study and dig deeper. So this is some example. And the lab study, we actually in the semester 2, we focus on the hypothetical physical system, which is to give the student the whole idea what all the new technology, what their position and value in the whole system. So the system including the cyber world, human world, and the physical worlds. And then they bring back to the real projects to analysis. Analysis the context with this 3 system. Like this team we show here is to analysis the Hong Kong airport. And what will be the human being's role? You can be the designer, you can be the creator, you can be the user, you could be the developer. And then theme-based project is also in the semester 2. So we actually continue working on some themes we pick, like a well-being, like a tourism, like a healthy, and at the theme, students work as a team. So this is some examples from the one team of the work. And we have also the lifestyle subject. It's also in the semester 2, the first part, the 7 weeks. This project also project-based and working with real clients. This is a project from the last year. Actually, in the IBD, throughout the one semester, throughout the 1 year, at least each student will work with 2 or 3 real partners in the industry side and help them to define the problems and of course also go to the solution part. This is a design for transformation, also the subject from the IBD in the semester 2. So we emphasize on the students to identify the new business opportunity through creating meaningful value. So this is a team, they create a low carbon milk tea. Actually, you can buy it now at the podium level. We have the chair cup cafe stall in the podium level. So they actually help the students to continue their business. Actually, they have the partnership and sell this low carbon milk tea. So we won't actually let the students only talking as submit the paperwork at the final report. We also encourage the student to practice, go through all the subjects. Here is some partners we have ever collaborated in the IBD and also before the IDBM. So if you ask what will be the type of the companies we will collaborate in the IBD, they are some kind of the example you can check. We are talking, we select the partners from the 3 types, NGO, so social innovation, and the local business, who are mainly from the Hong Kong local or the GBA local, and also the national and international brands. So you can see the catalog here actually is including all this kind of the business. And also sometimes you may also interested in what will be our future students when they graduate their career path. Quite broadly, depends on the students, their own choice. Here I give you some examples. I will show most of the students, especially from the IDB now, they're willing to start up. Some of them, when they join the IBD, they already start their business. So start definitely is one category, and also industry. So previously, when the students done very good job with our industry partner, so our partner will offer the internship and even the job offered directly to the students, and also consultancies. And then some of them go to the academia. They actually can work as a teacher in the university, and also study PhD. Some actually IBD students study PhD here. Okay, so If you are welcome, you're welcome to join the IBD. If you have the passion for transformation for yourself, transformation for the industry and the business, and you are willing to be the innovative leader, and you have the ambition to start your business, and also you are a responsible designer. So if you think you have this kind of features, ambitions, characteristics, you are welcome to submit your application. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Sylvia Liu. May we invite Professor Stephen Wang, Specialism Leader for ISD Intelligent Systems Design, to tell us more about this program. Professor Stephen Wang, please.
So here, following the conversation, I would like to give you quick glance about the intelligent system design. So we don't want to go through the too complicated analysis here. I just want to give you a quick example. So for example, you want to develop the CT scanner, right? Create something new here. And this is topic about how can you create a CT scanner for kids, for children. And this is a designer to make a theme for the scanning room and decorate in the pirate, Caribbean Sea, etc. And maybe including the interface design as well. So through this, you can see whether it's going to provide a better experience for kids. Yes, it does. Whether it's the ISD type of innovation is not. Okay, so this is great. Good experience, but when you consider the technology, latest technology integrated with design is acquire a different level of innovation. Okay, so it's more in the fundamental level, or more in the function level of this device and the function of the system. So that's why what we call intelligent systematic approach. A couple of example here. What we try to achieve is like a mouse first developed in Xerox PARC, right? So when Steve Jobs at the beginning went to Xerox PARC and he saw this device, he was shocked, how this timber cube move around, can move the cursor in the screen. And also similar to Google Glasses, okay? So you put all these technologies together to create a new solution. And what is very important in this, it's not about technology, but of course you need to understand the technology. But the key thing is, how can you ask the right question? Okay, so this is airport, the first generation developed in 2005. Okay, so I still remember back in August in 2005, when Apple announced this, was revolutionary. Why is revolutionary? It's so small and no screen, very pure. Okay, so why this is quite unique? Because when you think about the MP3 player around that time, whatever Zen or Sony R player, all got that kind of LCD screens, and you click the button, you choose different sounds, and all of these companies, they say, we want to make it a bigger screen, we want to make it more functional and to satisfy the user's needs to do this. But Steve Jobs say, hold on, one amp player has 1,000 sounds in that. Do you actually need to choose the sound from it? Or you can randomly just place any song from the player. So if you don't need to choose the song, when you prioritize the functions, the song choosing is not the first, not the highest priority. Then if you don't need that function, you don't need a screen. Okay, now you can make it as small as possible. You can make the memory as large as possible, and you can make this as cheap as possible. So that's why when you ask the right question in design, you got revolutionary products, okay, which is different to whatever in the market. That is type of the innovation we try to achieve. We try to innovate, enable our students to achieve in the ISD program. So that is what we call disruptive innovation, okay, which is the opposite of the sustaining innovation. Sustaining innovation, when you consider, for example, iPhone from first generation to 15, right? No much differences. Yeah, I got faster CPU. I think my phone is an 11 or 12. Compared to the 16, I don't want to buy the 16. What's the differences, right? They say AI. Can you use AI in Hong Kong? I'm not sure, right? So this is kind of a tiny functions, doesn't make differences, but they use a lot of new technologies, right? The CPU has changed a lot, and the screen, etc., multi-touch and cameras use a lot of technologies, but the functions no much change. So this is what we call sustaining innovation. On the contrary, we have the similar technology, but we use a different way of using it. So that is what we call disruptive innovation, which is the innovation not so much rely on the technology side, but on the creative side, on the design side. That's why designers can actually contribute more to disruptive innovation compared to sustaining one. So the example here is the Zoom a mask from Dyson. You maybe seen this before. And when you think about the technology, whatever vacuum, airflow, filter is the same as the vacuum machine. It's nothing new. But the whole concept to integrate the earphone with this, I'm not saying it's the best idea, but they create a new function, new type of products in the market. That is type of innovation we try to achieve in ISD. Okay. So to summarize, we believe our designers need to use high tech, need to use experimental approach to achieve the solution, and creative exploratory is very important, and also catch up the new wave of technological paradigm is crucial for our designers. So now it's about the AI, it's about the robots, it's about all of these sensors and the big data and the cloud, IoT, AIoT, all of these technologies. What does this mean to designers? How can you use this technology to create innovative solutions? Okay, so that's why we try to nurture, similar to IBD, leaders, but I think it's purer. We don't worry about the business. We worry about the core functions the designer can create to integrate the technology to become game changers for the future industry. That's why I mentioned Elon Musk before. I think it's quite amazing. Do you see all of his companies line up? It's we transport. They got a boring company, right? We explore. They got a SpaceX. We pay. They got a PayPal, and we talk. They got X, Twitter, right? So all of this is Tesla probably is the most boring company in the whole Elon Musk's industry map. So that's something is revolutionary. To achieve that, you need to have a vision. You need to understand the technology very well to enable you to create something. And this is the concept by this year graduates. We work with the Xiaopeng. So Xiaopeng got this kind of a new car called X2. They try to put this into market. The key thing is how this can provide a battery. How designers can create something for it.
Introducing Explorer. It is a system designed for millennial adventurers to explore exotic nature by riding along with XPeng's X2, an innovative flying car. So who exactly are millennial adventurers? From our study, they are people aged between 28 to 43. Tech-savvy, educated, and willing to spend can best describe them. Plus, they seek unique destinations in their exploration in nature. Reports showed that they have high financial affordance, use AI tools for recommendations, and love learning about cultures. Navigating places with the Explorer system is perfect for adventurous millennials who love visiting unique, exotic locations. The advanced multi-layer map provides a wealth of information, offering choice and control for adventurers to plan at their own pace. It enhances cognitive orientation.
This is quite interesting
and
idea.
features hidden
Have you
gems
seen,
that encourage exploration
when the
of
Apple
lesser-known
Vision Pro came out,
destinations.
how people use it? They use augmented reality, see a lot of virtual
Incorporating
balls
big
on the
data
floor.
from other trips,
And when they use a
the
vacuum
system
machine, the vacuum
continually improves, ensuring every journey is an opportunity for discovery, tailored to the adventurous spirit of the modern traveler.
This is the same. Which part you have explored? Which part you have?
In traditional tours, your experience heavily depends on the guide's style, personality, and professionalism. Sometimes, they may not know the details you're interested in. With the Explorer system, a personalized AI guide provides tailored information in your preferred style. Simply point and click.
This waterfall before you is known as the Silver Veil Falls. It's about 50 feet high. The surrounding rocks are rich in minerals, giving the falls a shimmering effect in the sunlight.
This 50-foot drop creates a stunning, continuous flow that's perfect for capturing long exposure shots.
Once upon a time, here was a magical waterfall called Silver Veil Falls. Legend has it that this waterfall could grant wishes to those who believed in its magic.
Let's take a look at the complete user journey. Today, we are heading to Danxia. First, we will book the X2 model flying car on the car rental platform that you usually use. Then, the Explorer app will assist you in planning your trip itinerary. Here, we can see various scenes with their exotic level presented. All right, this will be the route we plan. Now let's hop on to the X2, and the control panel already syncs with our profile that is set up on the app. Before we begin, let us choose the tonality and profession for our tour guide today. Let's choose a fairy tale wildlife expert. Next, we go to Danxia Mountain. Look how we clear the path while flying to the destinations. We arrive. We can just use our hands to point at the mountain, and the AI tour guide will tell us what it is.
想象这里曾是古代神话中的神仙乐园。据说，这里的红色山峦是由火龙的血所染，火龙守护着这片土地，赋予它无穷的魔力。太阳升起时，火龙的灵魂便会在长老峰上闪烁。
All right, our journey comes to an end. After we get off, we can go back to the app and review the highlights captured by the system during our journey in the air. Plus, all the objects we pointed at during the flight will be added to our collectibles. You can always look back to these memorable moments at any time. Thank you for choosing XPeng to join you on this fascinating and exotic trip. See you all in the future.
So eventually, Xiaopeng was very impressed by this concept. They will try to set up a research project as a continuous exploration, then try to integrate this new system into their X2 as a whole product. So when you graduate from SD, you will be able to make this kind of a video, and also you will set up your exhibition as a prototype demonstration.
面前的是积云，外观蓬松白色，常在晴天出现。它们形成于暖空气上升并冷却至凝结点， 通常标志着稳定的天气条件。
This waterfall before you is known as the Silver Veil Falls. It's about 50 feet high. The surrounding rocks are rich in minerals, giving the falls a shimmering effect in the sunlight.
Okay, so this is ISD. I hope they can give you, because we have very limited
在
time.
西方
hope this
牦牛
can
是高原生活的重要组成部分，被称为高原之州。
of ISD, and basically following the IBD model. If you are passionate about technology, you want to integrate technology with design, you want to be a innovator, okay, not really too much on the business side, but creating something very innovative, and ISD is the program for you, okay. Of course, if you say, I want to create something like that, but I don't know anything about technology, that's okay. But you need to be passionate about technology, okay? You need to be very keen to learn technology, to explore whatever coding, physical computing, system construction, robotics, all of this. If you say, every time I see coding, I feel headache. I can't really do the physical coding. I don't want to try soldering, etc. Then maybe not ISD. Okay. So that's a decision you need to make. Okay. Thank you very much. This is ISD. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Stephen Wang. Maybe invite Dr. Shira Park, Specialism Leader for SSD Smart Service Design, to tell us more about this program. Dr. Shira Park, please.
I'm Dr. Shira Park, Program Leader of the Smart Service Design. I think some of you already knows about our MDes SSD programs. Our program started from 2 years ago. This is the first program in Asia having the master plus the bachelor, the service design together. And then last year we started to taking part-time as well. So if you are interested in applying part-time, especially for January entry, there's a scholarships availabilities. So what is the service design? We are actually considering the service not just as a product or not just as a user experience design or any single output of the design applications, but we actually consider entire end-to-end service program, end-to-end journey. So from the people to technologies. So for example, how people think and then use what products or services, and also what they say, what they feel. Also at the same time, we are also concerned about how can technology actually capture and support those kind of needs from the people. So basically, the smart service design, we consider entire end-to-end journeys from the systemic perspective. So we have such a directions considering the smart service design. So there's 3 angles we consider. So the first one is that the social and environment factors. So what is desirable in our society? And secondly, we are also concerned about the markets. So what is market viabilities and what kind of the new services or new economic value we can create. At the same time, we are also considering the new possibilities, means the new technologies. So how the new technology actually make these kind of changes possible. So altogether, we think that the smart service designs start from the top, meaning we are trying to create some meaningful service intervention for our society and the people. So I think now this is the slide for general understanding about the services. So the market, as you know, already started to shift. So for example, like automobiles, so the manufacturer company used to create the car, used to manufacture the car, but nowadays they more concerned about the mobility, moving one point to another, including people and goods. And then finance, no longer they create the financial products. They actually concerns more life stage services, right? And then retail sector no longer only concerns about sales of products, but that they try to develop more strong relationship with the customers. And then many other service sectors, as you can see in the slide. So it's changing, the market is changing. So I think how we actually applied this changing into our programs. So there's a lot of the topics we explore, such as smart mobilities, how if we can imagine if the car can actually drive itself, what kind of services we can imagine. And then with the technology, what kind of new lifestyles or new products or services we can imagine. So there's a lot of on the topic we can explore. So during the last 2 years, we actually developed a lot of industry partners as well. So every semester we have a real industry partners. So last year we worked with Lego and Kone, and this year we worked with the Airport Authority, and now we are working on SF Express, one of the major player in the express, the mobilities as well. So new partners, and then the real industry project is coming. So maybe I can explain further. I'll probably skip these videos. The student work. They not only create the application, but the lifestyle. How they innovate the kitchen, the space. Also, they think about what kind of social effect they can make to the real estate, and also they try to be meaningful, the play.
What's up is down, what's left is right. Chasing stars, I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.
I think, I hope that you don't really consider the smart services as a kind of application, because this is a kind of school student work. So one of the deliverable was the feasible application. That's why they included. So in terms of student profiles, like you can see the chart, that a lot of students comes from diverse backgrounds. So as we are interdisciplinary programs, that some of the students comes from the engineering, also products, and some of them comes from visual communications, also architect. So quite a diverse background that they have. And then what is the reason they come? So we identified 4 different kind of the needs from the students. So for example, some comes from the bachelor straight because they want to upgrade their skill set or knowledge. And some of them comes from like 1 year or some internship experience. They want to prepare for themselves to find the right service sector or right markets that they can actually go for their job. And then some of the students actually wants to steer career a little bit. So for example, 2 to 3 years experience used to be graphic designers, but I want to looking for more systemic perspective. Therefore, I want to design some more holistic services. Those kind of students, they come. So I think someone in your guys, if you guys are considering yourself as you have a certain working experience, but you want to advance yourself further, then maybe you can consider to apply. And then what is the smart service design? So SSD positions after probably study our program. There's 4 angles. So the more user side, or you are more business side, or you are more strategic thinker, or you are more technology or operational side. So SSD actually position in the middle, communicating or working together with the other the bubbles. So all the bubbles are kind of the job or the job titles or some kind of roles. So SSD kind of working together with those kind of people. And then during the class, also during the course, you can also think about yourself, whether you are more close to experiential side, you are more interested in experiential side, or you are more interested in business side. Depending on which track, you can think about your future, the job or future role as a designer. And then maybe you are interested about so who's doing what. So this is the first cohort, the 2020-2003, so first year students. They actually over 90%, they all got employed, and then their job titles actually works quite different wide. So in terms of nature of work, a lot of them are working in UX UI design. However, it's not actually reflecting they really work only UI UX because of the company, depending on company structure, they actually work more service designers, but their job title may be UX designer kind of thing. So they actually work quite a variety of the service sector, so educations or finance, mobility or healthcare. They work quite a wide range of the service sector. So you can see that the percentage of the employment is quite good. And this year they are now catching up. So I think now we are moving to the structure. So if you are interested in more detail, I'll probably explain more detail in breakout sessions. So like other programs, we divided 3 semesters. So first semesters, 13 weeks. So mostly students need to learn about core skill sets and then knowledge about service design. And then second semester, we are moving to the value creations. So more systemic that approach, also the studio work. So each semester has the studio component, which is working with industry, and also the specialism SSD oriented subject. So after finishing, then you are fulfilled to graduate. So this is the our structure. All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Dr. Shira Park. May we invite Professor Lahorn Gutierrez, Specialism Leader for TED, Transitional Environments Design, to tell us more about this program. Professor Lahorn Gutierrez, please.
Hello. Hi, everyone. So transitional environments design is part of the new MDes. I mean, 3 years ago. What it is about is essentially about changes that happen at different scale in different environments, from urban to rural, at the street level, at the community level, at the city, territory, organization, and so on. And basically what we are doing in TED, Transitional Environment Design, is to look at a new worldview in which we will approach design mainly from an ecological perspective. For that, we're using tools and we essentially focusing on system thinking approach, which allow us to deal more with an holistic perspective, but also, as mentioned by Stephen Wong, to look at complex problem. The word is non-linear. The word is, or the problems that we are dealing with are basically wicked and tangled, and we are basically using new methods for approaching that. One of the framework that you're using is the SDG, is a Sustainable Development Goal by the United Nations. There are 17 of them, and they basically serve as a framework for us to operate and basically decide on each project. So some of them may be more relevant to architecture or environmental design, such as sustainable cities and communities. But what is a city or an environment that do not provide clean water or food or all the rest that is listed in these sustainable development goals? So that's the framework we're using. So also, as I mentioned, we are using system thinking and system thinking tool. So we are moving from a kind of very, I will say, simple approach of environments, essentially in this case city, towards something far more complicated, far more, not complicated in this case, complex, far more complex, with a lot of parameters, what the energy comes in, what the waste goes out. So we use a lot of reference to circular economy, donut economy, and so on, and basically place the environment, place the different actors of this environment within a larger context. This is somehow one of the issue that we are targeting. This is the global I don't know what's happening, a global mandala. Basically, we are listing here all the dimension that matter for us that we're looking at. So the global mandala or the world mandala. So what is important to realize that TED is concerned with ecology, economy, social, culture, as well as a worldview. And all those elements are linked together. In system thinking, what is more important is not the point, but is relationships between the point. So that's and when we're dealing, for example, with some of the biggest challenges that we have to face today, such as, for example, climate change, we only approach them from a systemic approach, and that incorporate all of those plus many more. We are dealing with living systems. We are dealing with well-beings. We are constructing new form of resilience, of course, urban resilience, but community resilience. We are addressing risk. We are looking at transformative innovation. We are looking at biomimicry. That's all part of what we are covering within the TED program. One of the major directions that we are taking is to address regenerative design and regenerative development. So basically, for many, many years, we've been operating and design, same as all the rest, has been operating within conventional green or even sustainable, which is kind of degenerating system, more based on technical solutions. Problem and solution. That's where we have been working on so far. What we're proposing with TED is to work on the regenerative aspect that goes beyond sustainability to restorative and regenerative, and looking more at, again, the systemic approach, looking at the whole system. We're looking at more than human, a post-anthropocentric perspective, those kind of dimensions. Some of the students' work, we're looking also not only at the physical world, but also at the world in the mind. So this is some of the, this is one of the students' project kind of representation that's served for publication. Different courses designed for change, designed for biosphere, system thinking design, regenerative design. That's some of the course we are proposing. At different scale, scale of the mind, as I was showing you, but also scale at the planetary level. I always kind of refer to this phrase from Mahatma Gandhi, be the change you wish to see in the world. I think that this is probably one of the main motto of the TED. We want to change the environment as we would like to experience this environment. So we are approaching different aspects, such as, for example, some of the word may not be speaking to you, but that's also some of the content: circular economy, Anthropocene and Gaia theory, critical zone, homeostatic and autopoietic. That's kind of different approaches that the students are exposed to and proposed to work with. Some example, this is one of studio practice from the students. What is really important is just to realize that we often start from an analysis of the context, understand the context, develop emergence. Emergence is new patterns that emerge from the analysis. That's where innovation and what we so-called ideas come from, usually. So this is the most important vector where things reconfigurate. That's where most, I will say, 90% of the innovation in design come from. And then synthesis is basically how to recombine everything together and be more inclusive. So that's type of project that we're doing. The students are obviously engaged in dealing with extremely complex problems. So they are equipped with different tools, system thinking tools, leverage point. Of course, they are referring to SDG. They're also doing causal maps that allow them to deal with complexity. Different form of representation, different techniques. This is nature-based solution as one strategy, and obviously looking at an holistic perspective. Just one example of the students' work from last year. If it works, video works, no? Video does. Yes, works, but no sound. It's okay. So the students we are looking at, in this case, looking at the soil, focusing on the soil in Penny Bay, Disney, in Lam Island, Disney site, and basically doing sampling of the soil and proposing new approaches, nature-based solution approach with developing of biophilia and well-being approach. So exploring different techniques on urban farming or soil interactions and so on. Right. So just to conclude, so this is a curriculum similar as the other. I think that what is really more specific to our case is a type of seminar that we're offering designed for the biosphere, regenerative ecosystem design. That's a studio, regenerative environments. No, sorry, that's an elective, that's a studio practice. Designed for change and so on. So basically, very similar program, and we are a team that basically will be teaching. I'm leading it here, but also other colleagues, all at the professor or associate professor level, will be teaching you also some of this topic. Thank you very much.
The following administrative briefing will be based on the information on our MDes brochure, highlighting the ones that you should pay attention to. May I invite Ms. Stephanie Ho of our program team to guide us through the application and the admission process.
The MDes has two intakes in 2025. September intake is the one that we usually have, and January is the new one. You may wonder, which one should you consider? So I'm here to help you find out. The first distinction to point out for January intake is this. Only part-time programs are inviting applications. Local students are eligible to apply, and they will join the main cohort, which already started their study last month in September. Beginning your study in semester 2 of the 2024-25 academic year instead of semester 1 means that you will need to catch up with the program and working with one another. No excuse will be expected for not performing because of being new to the team. The second distinction I want to point out is that the definition of local students. Needless to say, those with a Hong Kong permanent ID are considered local students. But if you are holders of a full-time employment visa or 7 other visa schemes, you will be considered local students for the purpose of admission, because you do not need a student visa to stay in Hong Kong. In other words, if you need a student visa to study in Hong Kong, you will be considered a non-local student, and you can apply to our September intake for our full-time programs. The third distinction or clarification to make is about our class schedule, which one of our guests has asked about. Our classes are held during the day on weekdays. There are reasons behind this timetabling arrangement. Many of our subjects are studio classes, a simulated work setting where students form teams, work in partnership with an organization or a research lab on a given brief, and to deliver design concepts and strategies supported by prototypes and product demonstration videos. So classes are scheduled during the day on weekdays to make that happen, to make our programs accessible to those working professionals, especially those having a flexible work arrangement. The course of study is spread over 3 years. The study pattern is, in practice, is that part-time students take 6 credits in semester 1 and semester 2 in the year 1 and year 2. Over the 13-week semester, they attend 2 to 3 classes per week. Each class is timetabled for 3 hours and usually commences at 9:30 a.m. or 2:30 p.m. Local students are allowed to take more than 6 credits per semester, and they have the flexibility to complete the studies between 1.5 years to 3 years. The fourth distinction is the tuition fee per credit difference due to the adjustment of tuition fee levels. The credits required for graduation remain unchanged at 37, which includes the 1 credit academic integrity and ethics requirement subjects, for which no tuition fees will be charged. The tuition fee is around 223,000 Hong Kong dollars for 2024-25 academic year, and 240,000 Hong Kong dollars for 2025-26. The fifth and final distinction is the availability of the fellowship scheme offered by the UGC University Grants Committee. 2024-25 is the last cohort of this 5-year pilot scheme. Local applicants without receiving other forms of government scholarships can apply to the January intake and the fellowship scheme at the same time. The results will be released separately, but at a similar time frame. The fellowship amount of 120,000 Hong Kong dollars will be funded through an offsetting mechanism. Applying to the January intake before October 25th is the last chance to be considered for this scholarship. As before, our September entry has 4 rounds of review. The orientation day will be held a week before the start of the semester year. Thus, final year bachelor degree students should complete their study, fulfill the graduation requirements, and produce the required documents by mid-July. All admittees should arrange to have the qualification verified and program register completed by mid-August. The application procedures are the same as in previous years. We recommend you look up the FAQ for help if you have any questions. Content of the program has been published on the academics registry's website. We recommend applicants to read through the information before applying. So that's all from me. I hope you'll get some useful pointers for planning your further studies in 2025. I wish you every success and joy ahead.
That's it from us. For guests joining us online, the meeting will end in 10 minutes. If you have any questions or feedback, please let us know in the Zoom chat. For guests being with us in person, we hope that one of our programs have piqued your interest. If that's the case, we invite you to meet with the specialism leader to discuss your interest further. Please follow our student ambassadors and our staff to the corresponding studios. Otherwise, our program team will be here for us for a little longer. If you have specific questions you want to ask us, please stay behind. Thank you, everyone, and see you around.